I thought what we would do, because there are a number of photos that have been released across multiple channels, some Empire Magazine, some the Star Wars social media channels. So thought we could just throw them up and we'll take a look at them, flip through, see if anything is interesting. So
well,
these are, these are some of this is one of the official photos that was released this week from Disney, Lucasfilm. So this is Ahsoka Tano in front of some sort of schematic here.
It's
a star chart,
map.
Perhaps? Yeah,
It's
a star chart.
It looks very similar to the map that we see in The Force Awakens. That was missing that one little part that R2 had in his memory.
The map to Skywalker.
Yeah.
Which was such a cool part of Force Awakens, that they were trying to find the map to Skywalker. It created just so much anticipation. R2 under the blanket, I know looking back, it would have been nice to have R2 there, but then he gets reactivated because Luke is perhaps on his way back, or they have the ability to and there was speculation about that Luke wanted R2 to wake up at that moment. He had planned all this out, whatever. So so Rosario looking great. Yep, there's some sort of map. So maybe this is going to have some shades of that. They're borrowing that sort of missing puzzle piece as they're looking perhaps for a map to Ezra. In this case, just speculating.
There, that's what this is. The map to Ezra.
Yeah.
And all they see are, Captain, we have whales here.
Enemy whales here. This is a fun shot of Ahsoka and Hera. Ahsoka and Hera standing there. Mary Elizabeth Winstead in her goggles and her bomber jacket with the fur lining.
Yeah,
I
wonder if she's ever going to put those goggles over her eyes. I don't think Hera ever did. I think it was purely...
she didn't even when she was flying, did she?
I think it was purely a fashion accessory.
Yeah.
She never wore those goggles, I'd like to say.
Wonder if the lenses
if
are
I'm wrong, somebody send me a screenshot with an episode, with a season and episode number, so I could confirm it myself. But I don't think she ever wears those goggles.
And this looks like the inside spread of the magazine here. We've got Ahsoka. A lot of these look like they're taking place in the same setting. You're noticing the red trim around the buttons and the dials and the consoles. I don't know where this is exactly, but it looks like they're on
Bridge
some
of
sort
a
of
starship.
Yeah.
With the buttons and the knobs and the dials.
And it looks like she's doing a combination of force. I don't know if this is a force push, a force choke, if she's doing a Jedi mind trick at the same time she's holding open her lightsaber. See how the two fingers are kind of bent up, like
multitasking.
These are not the drugs you're looking for.
No, that's a great observation. She's obviously up to something more than just dueling with a blade. She's playing mind tricks on someone or making someone tap dance around or do something silly.
The line here on the caption here says, all the Jedi had been slaughtered. Well, nearly all of them. Now animated icon Ahsoka is headlining her own live-action series. Welcome to the revolution. How very Hamilton of them. Okay, here's the Inquisitor. Now, Jim, I have not put any time into researching what the Wikipedia types are saying about this Inquisitor, whether or not this character comes from the world of comics or novels. All I know is it's another Inquisitor. What do you know about this, if anything?
I know very little, except what I do know of Inquisitors is I thought for sure that they had been largely eliminated by this point in the Star Wars timeline. Again, it's a question of why didn't we see these guys in the original trilogy? I mean, the Inquisitors surely would have been active at some point during that time. So I assume that the Inquisitors was largely a finished program toward the end of the Empire. Why need them when you have a Death Star? You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have been surprised if Vader himself liquidated the Inquisitor's program himself by hand
Hmm.
once the Empire had that battle station at its disposal. Now, who is this Inquisitor? Who would he be working for? There is no Empire at this time. We know the Empire is all hidden. Most of them are off in the unknown regions. The Shadow Council maybe is yet to be formed. Unless this is a flashback.
Yeah.
This could be a flashback, or this person could be coming from the same place where Baylan and Shin are coming from, which may be the world between worlds or something. But there's some reason why these characters have all been off the radar until this time. And or maybe it's their exploration for Ezra going into the unknown regions or messing around with the world between worlds. Maybe that unleashed or unlocked wherever these guys were hanging out, and now you have mercenary Jedi and Inquisitors and all of this stuff going on.
This setting, this sort of dark forest setting that we're looking at here, does remind me a little bit of the forest that she first encounters Grogu at.
Yes.
So she was hanging there training Grogu. I don't know if this is, where she hangs and there's some sort of history she has with this place. And like you said, this could be a flashback. But I'm starting to wonder, and we were talking about this a little bit offline, about these Inquisitors, and they seem to be almost like placeholders for a better villain, almost.
Well,
like,
so far,
until we can find a better villain, let's throw in an Inquisitor, and they die inconsequentially a lot of times. So I don't know. I feel like they're the red shirts of the Star Wars universe. You look at an Inquisitor and you go, well, they're not going to survive this season. They're done. They're toast. It was sort of like that in the animated shows as well. So they just seem disposable. I think that's the word. I don't look at them and go, ooh, this is very threatening. I look at them and go, okay, a couple episodes and they'll be toast.
Well, and the Inquisitors have been just so poorly used too. I mean, the way they all can take a saber into the gut and survive without any explanation. It does a few things. It diminishes the integrity of both the characters and the lightsaber itself. I mean, if the lightsaber isn't going to kill you the second it pierces your skin, then what are we even doing this for anymore? I mean, that's like the ultimate weapon, right?
Right.
You
it certainly didn't, do Qui-Gon Jinn any favors when it went into his gut.
Exactly. So there's your baseline. Now you have these goofballs who are like, are they Sith? What are they? You don't even know for sure. Because there's only supposed to be 2 Sith. So who are these characters running around with red sabers, impervious to other lightsabers? I just don't understand how that works. And we need an explanation for it. We need it now. I'm tired of seeing these so-called journalists sit down with Deborah Chow and only ask her how difficult it was to cast a child as the role of Leia. Let's ask some real questions about the story. Does anybody know who wrote these Kenobi episodes? Who wrote this?
Yeah.
There needs to be accountability or some sort of explanation. Perhaps, let me calm down. Perhaps the inclusion of an Inquisitor in the Ahsoka series will provide us with the knowledge we need to make the absolute silliness of the writing of Kenobi make any sense. Specifically, those scenes where 2 Inquisitors take sabers through the gut, presumed dead, only to return with no explanation.
None.
Maybe this character will provide the explanation and just simply tell us, oh yeah, well, Inquisitors, we all know the secret. Just give us something.
Well, at least with Fennec Shand, she took a blaster to the gut and they explained how she was modded out. They explained it.
Yeah, we need some splaining.
So I'm looking at this visor. I'm thinking it's giving me ninja, even Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe sort of vibes, but very, very ninja-esque.
Maybe this Inquisitor will bring something to the party. It seems like every one of them are pretty easy to defeat. Even if they do come back from death with no explanation, they still don't seem that threatening to me. At least we haven't seen them flying around using those dual sabers as helicopters like they were in Rebels, which was the silliest visual of all time in Star Wars.
Go, gadget copter. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here with the Inquisitors. It seems like there's been plenty of missteps made along the way with them. From the Grand Inquisitor to Reva, I hope this guy or girl, whoever this is able to elevate the Inquisitors into some sort of threat that we can actually take seriously. I mean, the Knights of Ren, it's the same thing. What's the purpose? Why are we dealing with these characters? Who are they? Because as I said,
you might even throw the Praetorian Guards in there. Up until we saw them in Mando season 3, they sure looked threatening in the sequels, but Rey and Kylo made pretty quick work of them. So there's these.
Well, that's okay because they're not Force users. So they're kind of disposable, right? Just like the Imperial.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Their job is primarily to stand around and
they're
look
bodyguards.
Cool. And you know that they're a step above stormtroopers at least.
Right. Like the Imperial Royal Guards.
Right.
They
that's
were
exactly
well.
right.
Yeah.
They just stand around, look cool.
Yeah.
All
right,
let's the Inquisitors, we need some more meat on this bone, the Inquisitors. Otherwise, they're the Knights of Ren, and we don't know why they're there, what they're doing there, what's their purpose. Are they threatening? They don't appear to be. They look cool, but what do they do?
Yeah.
Why are they there? What's the purpose? This is called storytelling. Let's get together. Yeah.
All right. Here is a robed Ahsoka standing in the room with Sabine. Sabine cradling her helmet. I feel like that's the first time we've seen her helmet in shot, in view.
It feels like this is the first time you're seeing her in the Mandalorian gear at all, live action. I think.
Okay, so that's why this feels so new to me. Okay, yeah,
looks very good. Not as obnoxious as I feared. Not as brightly colored, which I felt was kind of jarring with the Sabine and the. I mean, there's colors there. There's no doubt about it, but it seems a little more muted.
Yes. And that is a necessary, unless they're making Dick Tracy or something, where they really want it to look like a scene out of a comic book. That is a necessary thing that they have to do, is to pull back on the colors a bit when they make that transition from animation to live action.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, it looks too cartoony.
In superhero films, they've been doing that forever. I mean, compare Chris Reeves Superman to the Man of Steel version in the Zack Snyder film. There's a heavy muted situation going on there with Henry Cavill as opposed to Christopher Reeves. But I like what I'm seeing here from Sabine. This is a very accurate depiction of the character, and she looks great. So I think they did a great job transferring the character from animation to live action.
And look, she's got Indiana Jones satchel with her right there.
Hey!
Over her shoulder. Maybe the stones of Kali are in there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe she'll pull out the Javitos idol. She'll hold it up and everybody will kneel and start praying and they can escape. That'd be a good plan.
Yes. All right. What else we got? Oh, here's Baylan Skol and Shin.
Yep.
Standing. This is a great shot. This almost looks like an Annie Leibovitz kind of thing you'd expect to see.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Side
very
shot.
moody with the profile shot with the sort of the cloudy background. But yeah, they look great. I like this idea that they could be sort of anti-heroes in a sense, and that there is likely, and they say this in that SF Gazette, they point out that perhaps Skol is one that's going to find redemption during the series. I think we can probably already guess that he may come in a mercenary working for Thrawn, but likely go out as some sort of hero.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He'll remember who he once was.
Yes.
Yes. And
I don't know. You had sent this over. I don't know if this is an official image or if this is sort of a fan-made composite.
It might be, but it's a good look at the two characters.
Very much so. Yeah.
And they're both wearing their cloaks with the hood pulled over their heads. And I think this is sort of the appearance of the characters that we'll be most familiar with as the series rolls on.
Yeah. And this is a great shot of Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Hera. Again, the colors. Now, she is probably the most bold, I would say, color-wise, because of that green skin that she has and the contrast with the leather and the goggles and all of that. She probably looks to me the most cartoony so far. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, she just kind of looks like she just leapt off the animated cell or pixel or whatever you want to say now and jumped into live action.
Well, we've seen plenty of green women lately, from Gamora, Guardians, to the She-Hulk, and now Hera joins the ranks of the great green women of cinema.
Yes, pioneered by the Orion Animal Woman from the original Star Trek.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's Amon Cal, maybe a young one.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Amon Cal. Maybe it's like Akbar's son or something, as we were introduced to him in The Rise of Skywalker. Maybe this is his first day at work. I don't know.
But she does look great. She does look great.
It's possible.
She was definitely a tribute to the sort of the World War II era bombers. You can tell by obviously her outfit and the goggles and the leather cap. And so
bomber jackets becoming more fashionable amongst the rebellion in the Mandoverse era. We saw Filoni and Kim's Convenience, and they were all wearing the bombers jackets.
In the barracks there.
Yeah. They're sitting there
in the bar, at the base.
Somebody pointed out to me, no wonder the Empire is slowly regaining a foothold in the galaxy. It's because all the X-Wing pilots are sitting around at a bar drinking all day.
Well, hey, after you fight a war for 4 years or whatever it is, you might, you might be a little tired. Longer than that, some of these guys. And here is Dave Filoni wearing his Pittsburgh Penguins hoodie on the set with Rosario Dawson. Wow. As if the hoodie wasn't enough, you had to also have the matching ball cap to go along with it. Get those
Dave says it loud and says it proud when it comes to his Pittsburgh sports teams, especially the NHL Pittsburgh team, the Pens. He's always wearing Penguin stuff, always, and always has. So I get it. I wear team apparel quite often myself.
Hey, this is Dave Filoni, and you are listening to Rebel Force Radio with Jason and Jimmy.